Hello and welcome back to a very special episode, and I say very special because it's episode 10! Guys, joining us today in studio here in Benoni, again at the Radar F Studios, is the one and only Karabo Finger, ladies and gentlemen. Please make some noise back home.
Yay!
Yeah. We're adding a long clap. Let them go wild. This is a big crowd.
Really?
Yeah. There you go. Pretend you're catching roses, and someone might have thrown a bra at you, and you catch a bra. And okay, cool. Settle down. Easy. Rotten vegetables. Please calm down. Oh, there we go. That's going to make so much sense in post. We are winning. Karabo, welcome. Thank you so much for coming out to the studio today. I do appreciate it. What were you doing this morning? Just straight off the bat. I'm going to throw you in the deep end.
I was making my nephew's breakfast.
Okay, what was for breakfast today?
We wanted chicken livers.
Okay, how old is you? Oh, and scrambled eggs.
They're 8 and 12.
8 and 12. Okay, so two guys. That could be a lot of food, eh? How much?
Yeah, it was.
It's a big mess.
Yeah.
They start eating
and
a lot.
After hockey, they're playing hockey.
Oh, after hockey as well.
Yeah.
I feel like boys start eating a lot from 12 onwards. Up until like 8, 9, 10, they're still mousy with their food, and they sulk and they push it away.
Yes.
As soon as you're hitting puberty as a boy, food.
Food. And then you have to follow them because like they leave their plates there and you're like, guys, come on, everything, you have to push them.
Yeah.
Everything.
Do you have the ant problems there? You don't have ants that come in and help clean up a bit, and you got to chase them away. Not yet. I've got an ant problem at my house, but I don't ever get rid of them because I get this, and this is what I always try and tell my mom. She gets upset because she finds ants everywhere. I'm like, Mom, the ants are helping you clean the house.
Get out.
Yeah, no, don't. No, stay.
And then did it make sense to her then?
No, she told me to shut up and go do my homework. So, yeah. Karabo, so we're going to talk about your life and what you do, and you had a massive change in your life a number of years ago. You started your career, what you're known for. It was the second one.
Yes.
So you started off as fashion designer. Was that the first major change, or what were you before that? What's the timeline of Karabo?
Major change.
Okay.
Growing up, I adored my mother. I said to her one day, what am I going to be when I grow up? And she said, you're going to be a doctor. And I said, okay, yes, okay. And then, I was getting good grades at school. I was doing maths and science.
Yeah.
I was very good at that. And, of course, then I went to college and I didn't do medicine. I did pharmacy.
Okay.
And then into second year, I was like, oh, my gosh. When you get that feeling that you are on the wrong bus and you just need to get out. So,
And you've already committed that much time, and now you're like...
Exactly, yes. And all this money spent. And
yeah.
I was at Rhodes University.
Okay. So is it fair to say you were a rodent? Isn't that what they called it? The rodent. Did you have the
and
overalls?
If you're doing pharmacy, then you are a lab rat. So we were lab rats.
That's genius.
And that was fun. I really enjoyed that because I enjoyed science and maths and those subjects. But I did not enjoy the prospect of becoming a pharmacist.
Okay.
Because sorry to all pharmacists out there, it's as good as being a shopkeeper.
Okay, cool. Disclaimer. We'll put cream on there for that wound.
Just allow the medicine. There's nothing more to it. It's just you're just filling out.
Yes, I said you wanted something a bit more fulfilling, where it's more intimate with people, and you are directly helping them as opposed to giving them something that's helping the person.
Well, I was coming more into my being. I was discovering this other side of myself. Well, teenage years, everybody goes through the rebellious years where you're just like, you're not listening to your parents and you're like,
yes.
I was very diligent. I was my parents' child. I did everything. Yeah. I went rebellious in my 20s. I was like, I can't do this. I need to.
I was also going to say.
At the same time, this creative side came through, and I was wanting to work more with my hands. I was appreciating art and sewing and creating, and I wanted to do that. And I spoke to my mother. I said, I can't carry on with this.
No more pharmacy, please.
So that was a huge family drama.
Okay.
So I literally dropped out middle of the year. I said, I'm coming home. I'm not doing this anymore.
Ouch. Okay. But I mean, if that's what it takes, if you truly believe something, and you're not going to be happy no matter what, without making that decision, you have to make it.
Despite the criticism and people pressuring you, just see it out, and then when you're done, when you graduate, then you can go and do what you want. And I said, no, I'm just wasting time. I'm wasting money. Yeah. I'm not ever going to do this. So just let me go and do what I want to do now. So I went off and I did fashion.
So you branching into fashion, what area of fashion did you branch into? Was it pretty broad when you started? Was it fashion design, clothing, fashion design?
Yeah.
And
clothing,
how many years has that been running for now? When did the fashion design, when would you say you officially kind of started as a fashion design professional within the industry?
2008.
2008 already?
Yeah.
11 years.
And then I did Mpumalanga Fashion Week.
Okay.
In 2009. 2010, there was the World Cup, and I got called up to do Africa Fashion International. It was Africa Fashion Week. But I didn't showcase, I was just exhibiting.
Okay, where was that exhibit? In South Africa? Or?
Yes.
Okay.
In Sandton. That was fun.
That sounds like a lot of fun, hey? Like very very fancy events, champagne and crazy foods and people walking around like, hello, with British accents as well. Yeah. I can only imagine. I don't think I've ever been to a fashion event of any sorts. Like
You've never been to a fashion
I've never been
show.
invited to one. That is now my official hint as well.
They're really lovely. They're grand.
Yeah.
And,
So just let me know. If you need
just don't mind all the people walking around in funny clothing because everybody wants to express themselves.
Exactly.
So, the fashion.
What is your view on self-expression when it comes to fashion? Do you choose to take elements of you, who you are as a person, what you've been, what you've done, and express that into fashion? Or are you inspired by external events and you don't want to include you and your past within fashion? How do you get to that sense of fashion?
It's an element of both, and it's also an element of how do I want to dress? How do I want to look? And and then you then draw inspiration from what you see as inspiring around you. And I drew inspiration from international designers and fashion movements, and then there's also the African aspect as well. That
yes.
you feel that this is we need to, as Africans, also bring this forward and let this be part of international fashion. And I think that's what we should strive for.
Absolutely.
If you are going to bring your own signature into the international market, you need to also bring a part of who you are, your history, your culture, where you come from, and let people see that. And if you are proud of it, and you want people to recognize it as something that's relevant, then you need to own it as well. Yeah,
you got to really back yourself when you're putting out there.
Yes.
Have you ever put something out, or a piece, or a fashion that was a bit of a flop, and you're like, oh no, what have I done? And maybe there was bad feedback, or somebody laughed at you, or something really horrible. Is anything bad like that ever happened?
No, the disasters happen when you're working with clients, and and some clients, like they insist on, yes, this is a great design, but add this, do this, do this. And then you sort of try to communicate to this person that, look, it's great as it is. You don't have to change it. It doesn't have to be this. And oftentimes you find yourself having to cooperate, and because it's business, you do what the client wants. And even you, at the end, you look at this thing and you're like, no, this is atrocious.
That's
I
not
don't want
me.
to put my label on this thing. But if the client is happy, the client is happy.
Yeah. And if the client's paying, then you kind of do what I told you to. So would you find, is it fair to say you'd see a different end product when you're doing exhibitions and creative pieces as opposed to clients? And you can always see this end product always looks like this, and this end product always looks like that. But
when you're working for an exhibition or whether you're fully creative, because this is your expression. When you're working with a client, you have to listen to what they also want.
Yeah. When you go see clients, do you dress up like in a proper suit to be formal, or do you go there dressed as your fashion self?
It's a normal working day. So
okay, you don't have to ever go with like
often they
a frill or like a huge hat and like ribbons down there, and you can't even walk through the elevator to see a client because you're that excessive. You've never been. No, cool guys, just calm down. It's not Lady Gaga here. Have you ever incorporated food into your fashion? That's just something I've always wanted to know.
Incorporated food?
Food, yeah. Wearing food clothes. And I say it because I joked about Lady Gaga. I know she put ham on it, but is there anything else?
She wore a meat dress.
Yeah, she wore a meat dress. It's so gross.
No, never.
I've never been that. Only thing that bugged me about that is she didn't have any mustard on. You know what I mean? If you're gonna have meat, have mustard. Like it's no brainer.
And I always ask myself, do they cook it afterwards, or do they,
Yeah, just got it. I suppose if you got some weird, creepy person with a weird fetish, like, I want to keep that because it's on Lady Gaga's.
Maybe later.
Okay.
Even got interesting.
Yeah. Okay, Ulrich, please calm down, because I imagine this guy's name being Ulrich if he's a creep that likes eating meat. Now, so that was the first major change.
Yeah.
Second major change was your calling to become a Sangoma.
Yes.
Or was that is the second one?
Yes.
So to take it back to 2008, that's when you changed over into the fashion industry.
Yes.
When did you start becoming a practicing Sangoma, and tell me a bit about that transition and what was the calling into becoming
2013,
2014,
yeah.
Okay.
After my mother passed away.
After your mother passed away. So was it expected of you? It's something that you needed to do as part of your family? Is it?
It's part of my family. It's part of our...
And you would want to have moved into that transition eventually in life. It just happened to happen to you a lot sooner than you expected. Or was it at about the right time?
I've never thought about it like that.
Yeah, wait, cherries and Destes, we got good questions.
This is eventually coming, so I might as well.
Yeah, I'm just curious to know, like, had you thought about it as...
I've got 2 sisters, I'm the middle sister.
Okay. I'm also the middle child. I've got an older sister and a younger sister, I'm not even joking, this is so cool.
Who's it going to be?
Who's it going to be?
You sort of, but we know that this is coming, so...
Yeah.
So...
And your sisters as well...
I was the chosen one.
Okay, you were the chosen one.
Yes.
Okay.
The crazy, geeky, fashion-y.
Wow. It's like if there hasn't been enough changes and enough meddling around, now we're going to add this to you as well. So how is that transition be? How long does it take you to become, and forgive my lack of knowledge, a qualified Sangoma? Is that a word? Is there qualification?
We'll go through the initiation.
The initiation. How long was that period? How long did that take? A couple of years?
2013, I think about 3 months.
3 months?
Yeah.
Okay.
That I went, I stayed with it's called a gobela in Sisulu.
Yes.
The lady who trains you.
Yeah.
You're going to live with her for a couple of weeks, and then you go through all those processes, and
a note here. So you guys go back 6 generations. You've been practicing Sangomas within your family. What was in the 7th generation? So who in the family have you ever looked into it? Who was the first person that decided we're going to take this on into our family? Have you ever looked that far back?
We can't see further back than that.
Oh, wow. That is very unfortunate.
Yes, it is.
Guys, we didn't have any phones here, so we're going to sit still for 2 minutes. Yo, that is so hectic.
Back up. First of all, I want to address this prestigious thing. It's a huge responsibility.
Yes.
And it's the most challenging ever since, because now we live in this world that's full of all kinds of influencers and all kinds of forces that pull you, because you also want to live this, be part of the world as it is now and contribute towards that, the modern world.
Yeah.
But the responsibility is, how do you bring that aspect of yourself and so that you sort of integrate it into your daily life and what you strive to achieve. So what I did with that, I took that inspiration and I decided to write a book about it.
No way.
So I decided to go back and look at our history, especially from a cultural and an African spiritual perspective. What is African spirituality? And I'm trying to answer that question through the books that I write. Although they're fiction, it's sort of like historical fiction. I'm also trying to put those teachings in there, those timeless teachings that I learned when I was practicing as a Sangoma.
So the main message of the book is to tell Africans, tell people more about what is traditional healing.
Yes.
And make them understand that clarity.
Yes.
From what I understand, and I know it has been a contentious topic before,
yes,
it's often been a horrible misconception of witchcraft. And I know that's how a lot of the Western modern society would still view that. And I suppose breaking that down more...
You're saying this is nothing but witchcraft and you...
and
the whole thing.
Yeah.
So you don't want to throw out the baby with the bath water. You need to also look at what is authentic there. How do we draw on what can be useful today? And us seeking what is a spiritual connection with our higher selves and our ancestors and our angels. How do you then reconnect to the past and bring it forward into the future, into the daily life of who you are, and how do you then interact with people in the world around you?
Absolutely. You've got the fashion element, which is such a modern day concept. It's a very Western, so to speak, ideology of fashion, even though it's now across the whole world.
Yes.
That's very new school, whereas being a Sangoma and being a traditional healer is very old school. So you very much merging two very extreme opposites together, which is absolutely fascinating, because I don't think people know of anyone that's in both those industries. Will you explore that in the book a bit as well?
If you look at it as an art form.
Yes.
And Africans are artistic. I mean, we've got crafts and we've got...
Yes.
I mean,
absolutely.
When you go to... When, Westerners come to visit Africa, they want to look at the craft and the art, and fashion can be a part of that, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just another expression, an artistic expression. That's how I approach it now.
Absolutely. So
rather than as like, oh, this is what you're wearing, and this, the glam and the thing of it.
Yeah.
It can be, not that, that can be a part of it, but yes.
Okay, very excited. And then before we love and leave you, you know that's your camera. It's been your camera this whole time. Please don't take it when you leave because we need it for next time. Hi, camera. Social media details. Can we find you on your social media blogs, Instagram and Twitter? Are we still on that? You can find me
Karabo Finger on Twitter. Facebook Karabo Finger. Yeah, I'm not on Instagram.
Not on Instagram.
Yeah.
Oh, hectic. Never ever.
The two are enough, I think.
Fair enough. I just thought, you know what, it's me. It's typical Byron thinking that because you're in the fashion industry, you've got an Instagram account. Done. It's sorted. But again, you're defining the norms again. It's very impressive. No Instagram. Was there ever an Instagram account and it's now just ceased to exist and you deleted it, or have you never?
Not ever.
Karabo, thanks so much for joining us today. And guys, thank you back home as well. It was epic. This is episode 10. If you haven't liked and subscribed yet, please do. You know where to click. It's right there. Right there. Can you see where I'm pointing? Over there. Karabo, what are you going to do now? What are you doing for the rest of your Saturday? Just for the first folks back home now. Chilling? Kicking it up? Watching rugby?
Chilling.
One of these?
Yeah.
Chilling?
Yes.
Thank you.
More reading.
More reading.
More research.
Yeah, you're making me look bad now. Please stop, okay? I haven't read a book since May. But we'll edit that bit out. Can we edit that bit out, guys? Thanks so much, guys. Remember to tune in next week again. We've got another special Halloween episode for you guys. And drive home safely. If you're watching this while driving a car, please pull over, like that subscribe button, and then you can carry on driving. Until next week. Bye-bye. Bye. Thanks, Karabo. That was it. That's perfect. It was hard, Craig. But I think we should invite.
You feel the ant spirits.
Yeah, I feel the ant spirits. Yeah. So speaking of spirits, how cleverly are we going to let the ants live? We should though. We should. They're adorable creatures. They do nothing because they don't bite, they don't sting, they don't spit, they don't hiss, they don't have fangs. They just exist. Anyways, we've digressed, guys. Sorry about that. But you do know a lot more about ants now, and here is some information on ants at the bottom of the screen.